Having your person on a pedestal is never going to benefit your manifestation. Let me give you a little demonstration why. When something is on a pedestal, it's up here. Because you put it on that pedestal, that must imply that you're down here, which means you're looking up at your thing, and your thing, or your person in this instance, is looking down on you. Now consider what that's showing to your subconscious mind. That's either showing that this thing is so out of reach or too good to be true, therefore showing that you don't have it, or it is showing your subconscious mind that you are simply not good enough or worthy of having it. Either way, both of those will impress in the form of not allowing you to have your manifestation come in as fluently, as amazing, and as efficiently as you would like. So in this video, I'm going to be helping you identify if you have them on a pedestal, and if so, how you can change that so that you'll finally be looked at by your specific person and you'll be looking down. Not in a negative way, but simply in the perspective of being on the pedestal. But first, if any of you need some one-to-one help to ensure that you're moving past your obstacles to get your specific person, down below in the comment section and the description is the link to my Linktree, where you'll find the links to my website. If you want the much cheaper alternative, which is my full Manifest Your X-Back guide, free routines, free worksheets, free planners, and tons of amazing things, on that same Linktree is the link to my membership, and for only £6 per month or £10 per month, depending on which tier you go for, you can get all of that and more. So once you've watched this video, go check those links out, or if you want neither of those but you want more from me, I also have my ebook available in that same Linktree. So once you've watched this video, go check those out, but now let's get into this video. In my opinion, there are two main ways to identify if you have someone on the pedestal. The first one, you'll take time out of your day at the expense of yourself because of this person. What I mean by this is you won't live your life. You won't do the fun things. You won't do what's best for you because you're so scared that you'll miss their call, or that you'll bump into them and something awful will happen, or you'll see them with someone else, or anything of that variation. Now trust me, as a coach, I've seen it all. People have refused to go out because they're scared they'll see their person. People have refused to go and see family members that they haven't seen in a long time because they're worried if they do and their person messages them, they won't be able to get back in time. I've seen people literally throw away their happiness because they're scared that if they do what makes them happy, they'll miss their opportunity to get their person. Now this is a very severe sign that you have this person on a pedestal. This shows you, your subconscious mind, anyone that's around, that you would rather make yourself lose out on this present moment, this gift that you're given, just because you're so scared you won't get this person. If this is the case, you need to stop. We will get onto how to stop that in a little bit later, but I just want to remind you that manifestation is never game over. The worst you can do is delay your manifestation. You can never screw it. You can never game over it. You can never make it so that you'll never get it. Because all you need to do is change your awareness, change what you're focusing on, change what you're thinking of, and you will change your outcome. So based on that, and what I'll go into later, we need to stop throwing ourselves away, throwing our present moment away, this gift of life away at the expense of someone else. Now, the second thing is usually the explanation as to why you can't have something whenever you either try to affirm or if you ever think about your desire. Now, this one can incorporate some sort of limiting beliefs and core beliefs that may not necessarily be directly based on your specific person, but could have an impact on it, which is why I've included it anyway. And what this could look like is if you're affirming that you've got your specific person, and then all of a sudden you start thinking, oh, I can't have that though. Why can't you have that? Now, if you sit and think to yourself, because they're so amazing, why would they ever give me a chance? Because they've got this other person, why would they ever give me a chance? Or because I'm just not interesting and not funny or not XYZ thing. Any of those that I just said will either tip this balance one way or the other. Now, based on the pedestalation side of things, it's going to tip it that way. i.e. you're down here and they're up here. Let me give you some examples. Let's say you're even. I've got my specific person. Oh, I can't have that because they're so attractive. Oh, I can't have that because they just live long distance. Oh, I can't have that because I'm just simply not interesting enough. Oh, I can't have that because I'm not attractive enough. I'm not good enough. They're just too good. It's too good to be true. You see how any one of those things tips that balance in the favor of the pedestalation of your specific person. So sit with yourself and identify, are you giving up your present moment on the off chance that you're worried you'll miss out? Or when you sit and think about the reasons you can't have your specific person, are you putting them on a pedestal because you see them as so amazing? Or are you taking yourself off the pedestal by seeing yourself as so unworthy? Because even if you don't necessarily think they're all that and they're all that special, or you could even outright say, yeah, they've got some bad traits that I don't like. If you see yourself as all the way down here, this is still a pedestal. They're still looking down on you and you're still looking up at them. So have a little think about your scenario and see if you fit into either of these two categories. Now, there may be more ways to identify it, and if you do have more ways that I haven't mentioned here, please put down in the comments. Maybe I could do a part 2 of this video and talk about some of the things that you said. But based on my experiences with coaching, the vast majority of people that I deal with that have pedestalized their person or any desire, because this could be in corporation to anything that you're trying to manifest, it usually fits into either of these categories. So let me know if you do have anything different. However, have a little think about yourself and see if you fit into either of these two categories. Now, I intend to give you 3 ways that you can solve this pedestalation. 1 to cover the first point, 1 to cover the second point, and 1 to kind of give you just an overall idea on how you can tip that balance. So the first point, if you are putting yourself aside at the expense of losing out on this other individual, that's clearly you've pedestalized them. You've clearly sat there and said, my daily time, my life in this present moment doesn't matter as much as getting this person, which we all have desires. We all have relationship wants. If you're in a relationship and you want certain things out of them, we all have these things. But there's a big difference between living your life and allowing them to be a bonus and living your life around them. That's what we want to change. So if you've identified that you are unfortunately putting yourself aside, you won't go out, you won't do hobbies, you won't put your phone down for 5 minutes, you won't stop checking their profiles, anything that sort of takes time out of your day because of them. Now, I do want to preface, if you are in a relationship, yes, of course, you will adjust your day because you'll have them. But that's when you have them in your life. This is at the expense of while manifesting them. But if you are doing that, what I want you to do is stop doing it and instead do something for you. Now, it may be a bit of a habit at this current moment in time, so it may be a little bit of a tricky thing to stop checking the accounts or to start going out again or to whatever it is that you stopped doing at the expense of them. But at the moment, it is nothing more than a habit. And a habit is just simply an action or a behavior that has been repeated enough times for it to become natural. So what we want to do is consciously start taking a new habit, or making a new habit, so that can become natural. So what I like to do, whenever I notice myself doing something at the expense of myself, I like to sort of notice it, catch it, not do it, which is obviously half the battle, but instead do something for me instead. What this is doing is it is training your brain to be provided the fulfillment of this other thing. And because it's providing yourself the fulfillment, it can feel quite good. Yes, it may feel fulfilling, even if it's negatively fulfilling, it may feel fulfilling to check their profile or to not go out just in case they call or anything like that. We all know that there's that mild, even though it's negative, that mild fulfillment / I don't know, it's not comfort, you know what I mean, when we do something negative because we've given in, i.e. checking out their profiles or something like that. So one of the reasons why people struggle to just stop doing things is because they've outright said to their mind, I'm not going to give you this dopamine release of checking their accounts. I'm not going to give you this hormone release by having something negative pop up that we already know is probably going to pop up anyway. I can't remember the exact word for it, which is why I just said hormone, but there is a chemical released even when we see something negative. There's something that is released in us, which is why a lot of people can become addicted to sad things or addicted to the victim mentality. It's because of that chemical being released within us. So when you say, I'm just not going to check their profile anymore, all you've done is just stopped your body from receiving that chemical which it has become addicted to. And just like any kind of addiction, there comes withdrawals, there comes either extreme willpower or caving in and getting your quick fix. So what we want to do is provide some form of dopamine release, some form of other chemical that is positive. So what we do is we do something fulfilling to ourselves. We go and do something that is going to benefit us more. If it's checking their social medias and we don't want to do it, instead, why don't we go and do something that we enjoy? Why don't we go play games for a bit? Why don't we read our favorite book? Why don't we go to the gym? Why don't we go to a class? Why don't we go out with friends? Anything else that could release some kind of chemical dopamine release within to train your brain to become more addicted to the positive dopamine release, to therefore make it an easier habit, to therefore overcome the situation. That is a very, very effective way. And I've personally overcome addictions by doing this myself. I've been addicted to some things that I'm not too happy with in the past. And now I'm not addicted to them because I use this same principles of, okay, that addiction allowed me to have this kind of release. What would I rather instead? And that's why now I do boxing. That's why now I do gym. That's why now I have this business and I'm starting up a second business very soon. That's why I now do music. That's why I now do loads of things that are beneficial for me. And now I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't have any kind of addictions because I've retrained my brain to be addicted to positive dopamine releases and things that will actually benefit my life. So take this into consideration and try to make use of it regarding your setting yourself aside because of this desire. The second thing to do, and this is to cover when you view them as so high or you as so low, this is just that standard self-concept work that is spoken about quite a lot. If you view them as so amazing, that's fine. You can have someone that you view as so incredibly amazing, as long as you view yourself as just as amazing or even more. So what I recommend you do is to take note of what is putting them up here, i.e. they're so attractive, they're so funny, they're just the one, there's just everything amazing. And what is putting you down here? I'm not good enough, I'm not attractive enough, I'm not fun enough, I'm not XYZ thing enough. And then this will give you an understanding of what you need to work on. So if it is that you're so unattractive, begin to see yourself as more attractive. Begin to claim it yourself as more attractive. Begin to do things that make you feel more attractive. Dress better, do your hair better, do your makeup better, start hitting the gym or something. And all the while claiming to yourself that you're extremely attractive. If it's interesting, start learning things to be interesting about. Start claiming to yourself that you're interesting. Start doing those kinds of things to build you up to match them. When it comes to them being all the way up here, start to understand that they are just another person. Yes, they may be attractive, but so are so many other people. Yes, they may be really interesting, but you think they're the only person that has interesting hobbies, interesting things? And what this is going to do is by seeing it like this, you are reducing their value in their mind. Right now, you see them as a one and only. If you have the only diamond in the world, it is worth as much as you choose it to be worth. Whereas if someone else was to then, let's say you've valued it as $1 million. If someone else was to go, oh, I have the exact same diamond, that value now gets cut in half because there's now 2 of it, which means it now becomes 500k. If someone else comes along with 2 more diamonds the exact same, they now get cut in half again, making it 250k. The value of something decreases the more of it that there is available. You don't get as excited finding a pound on the floor as you would do finding a £50 note. Obviously, if you're in a different country, you'll have different dollars, but different currencies. But the more of a perceived value is based on the rarity of said thing. So if you can start seeing your person or your desire, because this can be for anything, as just another person, just another attractive person with blue eyes, just another job, just another house, you will begin to lower its value in your mind, therefore bringing it back down to you. And obviously by doing your work, you're going to put yourself up here, therefore looking down on your thing and this thing looking up at you. Obviously doesn't have to be like an egotistical, haha, look at me, you're a piece of shit kind of thing, but just from a pedestalation standpoint. And the third thing that I want you to do in regards to this, in regards to taking the pedestal things around, is to identify what it is you are even looking at this thing for. Now, we are a social species. We need each other to reproduce. We at least need elements. You can obviously go to a lab and get stuff sorted, but we need elements from each other to reproduce. Therefore, connection is something that we do strive for. However, there is a big difference between being okay and allowing someone to benefit your life, reproducing, having a loving relationship, being social creatures, and needing someone to fulfill you. That is what we want to identify. What I want you to do, if you notice that this is you, I want you to identify what it even is about this person that you need, or what it is that you think that they're going to provide you, or what you feel like you're missing ever since they left, if this is an ex, for example. If it's excitement, if it's fun, if it's joy, if it's interest, if it's mystery, write it all down. And then what you want to do is try your very best to provide it to yourself as much as possible. The age-old adage of we get what we are, not what we want, comes in extremely valuable here. If you are right now sitting in a depressing, unfun, unexciting time, and you're waiting for your person to come in to provide this for you, how are they ever going to come in if we get more of what we are, not what we want? If you know that they're going to provide fun, excitement, and fulfillment, and you're sitting here unfulfilled, unexcited, and unfun, there is a severe disconnect between the two of you. So, being that we get more of what we are and not what we want, if you can provide yourself those things to the best of your ability. And yes, I understand you can't exactly cuddle yourself, you can't exactly reproduce with yourself, I get that there's going to be some things that you do need another person for. But you can definitely make your life as good as possible and have them as a bonus by providing yourself fun, excitement, fulfillment. And because you've done so, and as well as tip that balance and done all of that kind of stuff if you need to, you are now sitting in a space of getting more of what you are, which is fulfillment, excitement, and fun, which is exactly what you are expecting them to provide you. Therefore, showing your subconscious mind that your experience right now and the experience of this person are one and the same, making it easier for you to live in the end and to have them coming in. So that's how you can solve that. Now, the third and final thing, like I said, was just a bit of an overall thing. Start to claim any of your affirmations as though it is already the way that you want it to be because of your value. What I mean by this is, let's say you have an affirmation of, my SP loves me. Change that or add to it, my SP loves me because I'm so amazing. If it's like, I am SP's girlfriend. I am SP's girlfriend because he couldn't imagine being with anyone but me because of how awesome I am. Or, of course SP is messaging me. I'm so fun and exciting. Of course SP wants my attention. He knows that I'm the best girl for him. Those kinds of things. If you frame your affirmations in this kind of way, if you just add this little bit, what this does is it takes it from a neutral affirmation of, yeah, well, we're in a relationship, and goes, we're in a relationship because I'm amazing. And now you're sort of implying that the reason why he is pursuing you is because you are up here. Of course they're chasing you. She's chasing you. He's chasing you. They're chasing you. Of course they are. Why wouldn't they? Using the affirmations or ask-formations that I spoke about last week, why wouldn't he be chasing me? Look how incredible I am. Look how attractive I am. Look how amazing and good enough I am. If you frame your affirmations like this, or even if something happens in the 3D, let's say he texts you. If you look at it, of course he's texting me. Why wouldn't he be? Look, I'm obviously the prize. He's obviously head over heels for me. You're going to begin to frame it to yourself in a way that's going to show your subconscious mind that in actuality, you are up here. Because what's happening predominantly in the manifestation community, whenever anyone's trying to manifest a text, is you may get the text or you may get anything that you want. But what happens is when it comes in, you are head over heels. Excited, over the moon. I meant to say over the moon, not head over the heels. And that's fine. Absolutely. You're manifesting it. This is something that you want. But consider what that's showing to yourself. It's showing that you've been waiting for this text your whole life and they're still up here. Even if you are the most excited, heart-pounding, adrenalized person when that text comes in, if you can sit back and be like, of course it was going to happen, I can assure you that that would do much more for your self-concept and for your impression of the situation than getting super over the moon about it. Now, you can get excited. I'm not saying you can't get excited, but get excited and frame it in a way that, of course, it would happen because of your value, as opposed to because he's finally texted you, if that makes sense. So I really hope this video has helped. Hopefully you can identify if they're pedestalized, if they are, and how you can handle it. If you do need any of my one-to-one help to help you overcome these pedestalation issues or any other things stopping you from getting your manifestation, check down below in that link tree. If you want the much cheaper alternative of the Manifest Your X Back course, mini course. I say mini course because it's not like a full-blown course with multiple modules, but it will give you everything that you need, so that's why it's still technically a course, I guess, and it has exercises and stuff. Take it that what you will. Also down in the link tree, if you just want a good little read and one that I've had a lot of good reviews on, also down below in that link tree is the link to my ebook. Follow my socials, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you lovely people in the next one. Bye bye.